but very cold morning to you all. How are you doing today? It isn't snowing yet, but we've got some sleet and even a rainbow, but it's gone very dark now. So I think there's a chance it may just snow. So I've got my festive jumper on, I've got my Christmas nails on, and we are making today some really beautiful little Christmas tree hangers. Now you can put these on your Christmas tree. You can hang them wherever you like. They'd be gorgeous actually on presents as well. They make nice gifts, but they're just something I think to get us in the festive mood. Now, Kitty made some gorgeous Christmas tree earrings with you on Wednesday. You could make these smaller and wear them as earrings if you like, but really straightforward. We're going to be using 3 different sizes of beads. You're going to have your 6mm beads in one colour, and you're going to get your 3 and your 4mm in a different colour. So 2 colours, 3 sets of beads, and a little bit of 0.3 wire as well. So they're a nice simple make, if I remember what I'm doing, and I'm very looking forward to showing you them today. So I'm going to take you over to the website shortly. There are 3 different colorways to choose from, and you're getting quite a lot in your kit, and we've also got a little bundle on for you as well if you want to get more than one colour. But we tried to do something I think that everybody would like. They are nice festive colours anyway. So I'm going to say a very quick hello to you all. Good morning to Carol. She says hi all. Camille says good morning Natalie. I hope you are well. I'm good, thank you. I'm just really cold. Lucy says good morning lovely Natalie. Well, hello lovely Lucy. Amelia's in as well. She says good morning Natalie and everybody, and Debbie's in as well. She's still suffering with a cold. Some bright cheerful Natalie to bring me some cheer. That's lovely, Debbie. Thank you so much. Right, I'm going to take you over to the website so you can have a little look at these. I'm made up with them. They're so lovely. So we are on TotallyBeads.co.uk, and if you head over to the video tutorials, you can find us here, or you can scroll down and you can click here or go into the categories, whichever you prefer. So they were the lovely little Christmas tree earrings that Kitty was doing. I absolutely love them. These today are our hanging trees. So as I say, you can put them on your Christmas tree. You could hang them on your wall. You could put them on little presents, like little gift tags. You could make them into a little key ring. You could do whatever it is you want with them. They're very versatile. So we've got 3 lovely colours for you to choose from today. Each kit is £6.99, and it makes 3. So you can do 3 of your gorgeous little trees. If you want to get all 3 in 3 different colours, or you just want to get lots of one colourway, you can do that too. It is 3 for £15 today. An absolute bargain. So you're going to be able to make up lots of trees. So what's that? 9 little Christmas trees for £15. I think that's quite a good deal. So this is our beautiful green colourway. As I say, you're getting 2 different colours of your pearls, but you're getting 3 sizes of those glass pearls. So you're getting your 3mm, your 4mm, and your 6mm, and you're getting a whole spool of your 0.3mm weave-in wire. So there's plenty there to play with. If you want to have a little look at exactly what colours you're getting the antique gold, and you're getting the green glass pearl round beads there, and it's going to be on gold wire. You don't really see the wire too much. You only see it really at the loop at the top. But it ties in very, very lovely. So this one is your green colourway. As I say, you can get 3 for £15, or you can buy 1 kit, which makes 3 Christmas trees for £6.99. So is your green and your gold. We've got this beautiful ruby red one. So again, everything in your kit the same, only you've got your different colour glass pearls here. So we've got this lovely caramel colour, and we've got the ruby red. That's what I'm going to be demoing you today with. Very, very pretty and straightforward to do. I do think they look really cute. And we've also got the velvet. So a lovely purple colourway for you today. And this is, I think that's pronounced ecru. I don't know. It's kind of like a a bronzy kind of colour. A bronzy, yeah, I'm going to just say bronzy. Bronzy isn't a word, but it is now. So this is your gorgeous velvet. So 3 different colorways for you to use from today. We've got the green, the ruby red, or the velvet purple, and they're going to make 3 beautiful trees of each of your kit. So you have a particular colour for your Christmas trees and your decorations. At the moment, I've got my Christmas tree up in the front room, or the back room rather, which is our like living room, and that's just a mishmash of all colours. So predominantly red and gold. So these would look lovely, the ones that I'm demoing with today. But I've got him a little advent calendar, him being my son, and there's a little decoration in each one, so you can add another tree decoration each morning, as well as a chocolate one, of course. I have my tree up in here. It's a beautiful real tree, and it smells gorgeous, but so far there's no decorations, there's not a light on it. So I've done the rest of the house, but I still need to festive up this space, but I've got to tidy it up first. So I'm going to say a quick hello again to everybody before we get going. Good morning to Anne. Hello to Elaine. She says, good morning, Natalie, and everyone from a very cold, frosty Accrington. Has anyone got the snow? Yeah, I do think it's going to snow today. It's just bitterly cold. Good morning to Celia, who's in an extremely cold Bolton. Lucy has shared the link for you today. So we are totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials/ hanging Christmas trees. Thank you for that, Lucy. Good morning to Nicole. She says, good morning, Natalie and fellow beaders. What's the weather like where you are, Nicole? Because I'd imagine it's probably quite different. Janice is in a cold and frosty Swansea. Good morning to Kath. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Hello to Joy. She says, good morning, only here for 20 minutes. Oh, because she's teaching at 11. Good luck today. I hope your class goes well. You probably see the majority of the make, I would say, in 20 minutes. It shouldn't take us too long. Good morning to Joanne. She says, good morning, Natalie. Good morning, all from a very cold and frosty Coventry. Good morning to Sue. Camille's got a tree up too, but no deckies yet. It just takes such a long time to get the lights on. I always leave it at least for a good day or maybe 2 just to settle. That's my excuse. The branches need to settle. Good morning to Kim K. Hello to Celia. Oh, Celia's got a sprinkle of snow. She's not looking forward to going out later. And Debbie says no snow, but I've got a very cold frost here. Got the call daughter wants picking up from uni today rather than next week. Yay, how lovely. So she'll be driving home for Christmas, as the song goes. Good morning to Tree. She says, good morning, lots of snow in Denmark. How gorgeous. Lucy's not doing a tree this year. She can't be bothered. Do these ones instead, Lucy, and then you will have a lovely little tree without all the hassle. And Joy says, that's good, may use it next year too. So I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's these lovely decorations. Right, down on the mat we go. Good morning, Debbie. I hope you're well. So these are our Christmas trees. We've got the beautiful green one. Anne says it's so cold in Perth. I can't feel my toes. And I love them because obviously we're using these gorgeous glass round beads. They are just beautiful to touch. They do have that kind of movement in them. You can roll your finger up and down them. They feel lovely. But they're also in the most beautiful sparkly colours. Lucy's saying, ooh, your nails are nice. I've gone for a little bit of festive, but I have broken quite a few of them. The joys of wire work. This is our beautiful velvet purple one. Absolutely gorgeous. I do love the colour of these pearls. And so if I hold them up to the camera, they've got a very warm kind of bronze, but I would say there's kind of a hint of, I don't know. Do they look a little bit pinky to you? I suppose it always depends with what you're going to pair it with, doesn't it? But that one is our purple velvet. Janice is asking if I've got a stag on my middle nail. I do. Isn't he cute? A little bit of tartan, a little bit of gold, a little bit of red, all the festives. Debbie saying the velvet is beautiful. And this one is our beautiful ruby red one. So they're all absolutely gorgeous. You can get the 3 kits. There's a bargain on today. So if you want all 3 colours, it is just £15. We're going to be using 3 sizes of your pearls. So you've got your 6mm pearls, your 4mm pearls, and your 3mm pearls. So your 4 and your 3mm is going to be in the same colour, and then your standout main body of the tree is going to be in the vibrant kind of green, purple, or ruby red, and they're going to be your 6mm. Debbie says purple hazelnut chocolate. Yeah, that's got a kind of, I won't say the brand name for those of you in the UK, but that is kind of like a particular chocolate colour. Debbie says the velvet's gorgeous. I love that one too. I'm going to do the red today though, so I'm going to just get my wire out. So I'm using the 0.3 wire, and I'm using about 40 inches of the wire. So it is quite a long length, but it's going to give me plenty to work with, and it's going to be able to make a really large loop as well. So depending on where you want to hang these, if I'm going to hang them on my Christmas tree, I do want quite a large loop really to get over my branches. So I'm going to take 40 inches of my wire, which is the 0.3, just smoothing it out between my fingers just to kind of get any kinks out. As I say, it is quite a long length to start with, but it's not too tricky. I'm going to start off by adding on 4 of my 4mm beads into the center. So I'm going to pick up 4 of those, and I'm going to slide them onto one end of the wire. My hands are cold again today, so I might be dropping the odd one. So I've got 4 of my 4mm beads. Now to find the middle, I'm just going to bring up my 2 ends and drop them roughly into the center. And now with one end of my wire, I am going to be all tangled up here because it is quite a large length. I'll pop that there for now. With one end of my wire, I'm going to go through just 2 of these pearls. So I'm taking either end, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to go through the opposite side of the pearls. So I've got 2 furthest away from that end of the wire, and I'm just going to bring it back through those 2, but only those 2. My hands are cold and not working properly this morning. So I've brought it back through the wire, through those 2 pearls. And now as I start to pull them together, what's going to happen is those 2 little pearls are going to sit neatly on the top of the other 2. And this is going to start to create my base of my tree. Good morning, Ruth. How are you doing? Lucy's upset there's no pink, and Camille's upset there's no yellows. I've got gold, so that's as close as you're getting to yellow, and I've got a ruby red, which is the closest you're getting to pink. You could mix and match them if you wanted to, so you could put the occasional different colour bead in the center. So for example, if you were going to get the multi-buy, you could make your green tree up like this, and then occasionally you could pop in one of the ruby reds or the velvet purples and make them look like little baubles on the centre of it if you wanted to. But I've gone for the festive colours, so I do apologise, lady. Oh, Joanne's saying a no blue. Do you know what? I'm sorry. Right, so I've added 4 on to my wire. I've brought it back through 2, so they're sitting on top. And now I'm going to just take another 2 of my 4mm, and I'm going to pop them on. Again, it doesn't matter which side, whether you do the left or the right. I'm going to pop them onto one end. And then with the opposite end of my wire, so if I put it on the right, I'm going to take my left wire, or the left side of it, and I'm just going to bring that through those 2 beads I've just added on. And again, as I start to pull that wire together, Just give it a little gentle pull. They will now sit on top of those two. So I've got those 6 little pearls which had formed the base of my tree. Now I'm going to take one end of my wire, or one side, so I'm going to go with the left, and I'm going to add on one 3mm bead, one 6mm bead, and one 3mm bead. So I've got a 3, a 6, and a 3. I'm going to come in with the other end of the wire, so my right tail end, and I'm going to go back through all 3 of those pearls, and again pull my wire down, try and pull it evenly. You don't have to pull it too hard, but just so that middle bead is sitting on top there. Now I'm going to take one of the 4mm beads. I'm going to add 3 of my 6mm beads. And another 4mm onto each side. So I've got my 4mm, 3 of my 6mm, and another one of my 4mm. Now you're going to have to watch me today, because when I was making the candy canes on Monday, it wasn't until afterwards, even though you were all in the comments like shouting at me, "You've missed a white bead," I didn't notice until I'd finished. I'm getting laughing faces off Camille and Joanne. Marie says they are so cute. And Lucy, if you could boot out the troll, that would be much appreciated. Okay, so I've added on my 4mm, 3 of my 6, and a 4 onto each side. And now on one side, I'm going to add 8 of my 6mm beads. So I'm not bringing anything back through at the moment. I'm just going to add on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to have to count these, because if I get distracted, I might miss a row. Okay, so I've got on my wire ends one side with the 4 and the 6mm, repeated again on the other side, and then a little bit further down the wire, I've got 8 of my 6mm pearls. I'm going to come in with the opposite end. So if the 8mm, if the 8 6mm pearls are on the right, I'm going to take the left, and I'm going to bring that wire just through those 6mm. So not the ones closest to the tree trunk, just these ones at the moment. So using the 0.3 wire is lovely, because it goes through the beads no problem. And I don't need a lot of tools for this. We've put tools in the description, but actually I think all you need is probably cutters and a pair of pliers, just to stick your end down at the following end, so there's no sharp bits sticking out. Everything's done with your fingers. So I've brought that wire back through those pearls, and now as I start to pull them together, it's going to create this little shape. And I'm just going to push it gently with my fingers, just to kind of bring it together. You can shape and mold this because it's wire. So as you can see, I've got my little tree trunk and the base, and this is my first row. Now all I'm going to do is just kind of keep repeating that process, but I'm going to start graduating or descending the order of the 6mm beads that I'm putting on. So you can see here the bottom will have 8, then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 till we get right to the top of the tree. Oh, Mina's just setting up her stall for this weekend. Lucy says, was so into watching what you was doing, I didn't even notice the troll. Do you know what? I don't know what's going on at the moment, but I'm getting so much spam. I've had random email. I suppose it's just this time of year, isn't it? But I've had emails sent pretending to be from PayPal saying, please pay this amount or we're going to take $500 from your account. And I do keep reporting it. It looks very, very legitimate, but it isn't. So do please be careful this time of year. There's a lot of scammers about. I'm just going to have a little sip of my drink, which is now really, really cold. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop a 4mm pearl onto each end of my wire. And I'm going to get 6 of my beautiful 6mm out. I'm going to pick up my beads and pop them on one end. So I'm just going to work off the left side at the moment and bring the right end through. But it really doesn't matter which side you pop them on, as long as you're bringing that opposite side back through your beads. So all I'm going to do now is I've popped those 6 on. I'm going to take my right tail end of wire and I'm just going to go back through the 6mm. So I'm not going to go through the 4mm that I'm adding on. The 4mm beads will just sit lovely at the corners of my tree. 7. You are quite right. Thank you, Anne. See, I needed people to pay me some attention because I'm going to end up with a short stubby tree. We are descending, so we put 8 on, then we do 7, and then we do 6. Thanks, Anne. See, it's just as well I'm actually reading the comments today, isn't it? Angela says, I delete most of my emails. I feel sorry for the legitimate companies that I never get seen. I know, it's just... as long as you're opening up that TotallyBeads newsletter, you've got the main lovelies there. And thank you so much, because I'd have been fuming with myself if I'd have made a mistake this early on. I have done one just as a little practice to remember what to do. And I was like, why does that one look like wider and a little bit more like short? And then I realised I'd completely missed like row 4 out. If you notice before you finish it, then it's fine. You can just slide them back off again. Okay, so now we're just going back through those 7 pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just keep giving it a little wiggle just to position with your fingers. Pull the wire quite taut, but again, just be gentle with it. It doesn't need, loads of pulling, loads of twisting. The beads will shape that for you. Sue says, I love these. They're really cute, aren't they? Yeah, Lucy agrees. She says the big issue with cloning accounts at the moment too. All keep yourself safe, ladies. Don't click on things that you don't know. I would always say, even if you get something that looks legitimate, keep checking the the address. The web address that it comes from usually has a spelling mistake or a slight different variation. They should always write your name as well. So if you just get a generic Dear Sarah or Madam, then that's always a bit of a telltale sign. Yeah, and always check with your bank if you need to. Right, we've done 7. We're now doing 6. What I think I might do is just keep counting out loud so you can tell me if I've gone a little bit away. So I've put my 4mm pearls again on either side. One side is getting the 6mm pearls, and we are just deducting 1 each time, so we start to get that little gradual point at the top of our tree. So we're going to be creating that Christmas tree shape. And then I'm going to bring the opposite end of the wire back through the 6mm pearls only. So just guiding that through. So I've got one wire which is coming out one end of the pearls and then the opposite direction sticking out the other end. So it'll look like this, and then I just keep giving it a little pull together just to draw that wire back out so my pearls will sit in a little row above. So each time you're doing this, you're just making a little row that sits neatly above. Joy, have a lovely day. She's going to watch later on Catch Up. And Lucy would like Dorothy to send her a little message to have a catch up. Hi, Kitty. How are you doing? We've got Miss Kitty in. What are you doing today, Kitty? Is it snowing where you are? And are you checking up on me? Again, going to add on those 4mm pearls on either side. This is where I do it wrong now because the boss is watching. We added 6 on last time, so now I'm going to add on 5 of my 6mm pearls. Let's get those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Angela says, haven't we done this technique before with Not the Trees? Probably. I think we've done a bracelet, probably bringing the wire back through, or the thread back through in the opposite direction. It's a really easy technique to master, and you can create lots of different little looks and different shapes by doing so. The only thing is you're just adding on one less pearl, which will make that kind of little triangle point shape. Wire back through and down together. Give it a little push with your fingers, just so you're happy with the shape that you've got, and double check that you've added the right amount on. Right, now we're going to add 4 on. So I'm going to take my 4mm pearls and I'm just adding them on to either side. Ah, Debbie says a long time ago Christopher and Kitty did a little fish like this. Is there a tutorial, Debbie, that I've not seen? I've not seen the fish. I want to see the fish. I'm going to have to go back and have a little look. I'd imagine that'll be in like other or home decorations or something. Kitty says those fish have long swam away. Hello to DIY Dream Weddings UK. How are you doing, my love? So again, it really doesn't matter whether you're adding those pearls onto the left or the right side of the wire, providing that you bring in the opposite end through. So this time I've added it onto the right side. So I'm just going to bring my left side back through those pearls. So again, we're only going to go back through the 6mm. If you wanted to, you could maybe just add a different colour on. So again, if you're getting those 3 kits for £15 today, you might want to mix them up. So you might want to do green as your predominant 6mm, and then just add in one of those ruby red or velvet ones, and that would make it look like a little bauble hanging on your tree. Take in both ends and pulling them away from each other, which will draw those beads into the middle to create my next row on top. Just keep smoothing my wire out, and then I'm going to do exactly the same again, adding the 4mm onto each side. This time I'm going to add 3 of my 6mm pearls, so adding them onto one end of the wire. Then I'm going to take the other end and post that back through in the opposite direction. So you can see it's coming together really, really quickly, providing I don't miss a row and have to go back a step. Kitty is saying, that's a good idea. We could have a Christmas fish. Okay. I mean, I'd say maybe a Christmas turkey or a Brussels sprout or something. Never heard of a Christmas fish, but maybe this is it a Hungarian tradition, Kitty? DIY Dream Wedding says, good, thanks. These look lovely. Thank you very much. So now we're going to add another 2 of my 4mm pearls. So 1 going onto each side of the wire, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. And by not bringing that wire back through them, they're just creating that little kind of trim along the edges. I'm now going to add 2 of my 6mm pearls. Taking the opposite wire. So it's 1 long length of wire. So as I say, I've started off with about 40 inches of the wire, and that's going to make sure I've got plenty to reach the top of my tree, but also create that lovely little wrap loop at the top. Just keep positioning it with my fingers, checking I'm happy and it's all sitting pretty. Have I missed anything? Have I missed any questions? Oh, Angela's saying you could do the fish in Christmas colours. What is it with fish? What is Debbie finding, Lucy? I'm not too sure. Is it the fish video? Why are we all talking fish? DIY Dream Red says she loves this red. This is our beautiful ruby colourway. We've got the gorgeous green with the gold as well, and this beautiful purple velvet with, I think it's pronounced ecru, but I don't know, these gorgeous little kind of bronze coloured ones at the end. You have time to make a green tree with the red and purple bauble, says Camille. You can do that, Camille. You can mix them up. As I say, you know, we've got a fantastic offer on for you today. Each kit makes 3 Christmas trees, and they are £6.99 for your kit for 3. If you want to buy 3 kits, it is just £15, so you can mix them up as well. So I'm going to take 1 of my 4mm pearls, and I'm going to add them onto the side. And then I just need to add my 4mm pearls onto the side and just 1 of my 6mm. I'm going to go through that bead, and I have now reached the very top of my tree. Now, what would be cute if you had like a little star bead or something, you could add that onto the top. But what I'm going to do to finish off is I'm going to take 3 of my 3mm pearls. So the smallest ones. Where's the end? There they are. Elena saying 40 inches, you're too young to work in imperial measurements. I do a bit of both, to be honest. I suppose it depends what I'm doing. If I'm talking about something that's really long, I tend to go in inches. If I'm doing something smaller, I'll do centimetres, but obviously with the beads, I go millimetres. So I've got a bit of a collection, really, of measurements that I use. And you say I'm too young. I'm not that young. It's my birthday. Is that next week? Week after? So I'm going to be older again. I don't know how it happens, but each year I seem to get older and older. Right, so this time I'm adding on the 3mm pearls. I'm adding 1 onto each side as usual, but instead of using the 6mm, I'm going to use the 3mm pearl, and I'm just going to go back through that 1. So when I bring that through together, that will sit just nicely at the top of my tree. And I can have a little fiddle with them if I want to reposition it, check I'm happy with the shape that I've got. and it looks like this. Lucy's asking what date's my birthday. My other half's the 22nd and the 19th. And Angela says you are to us oldies. Younger heart, Angela, as long as that's the main thing. Right, so I've got my lovely little tree now. All I'm going to do is start to create that loop at the top. So there's lots of different ways that you can do this, whatever way you want to do. But what I tend to do is I will bring those wires up on both sides together, and I'm just going to give it a little pinch. Again, all with my fingers, just a pinch across the top of that little 3mm bead. So right on top of the top bead. And then going to give it a little twist just to lock it together. And then I'm going to hold on to my wires. I want to create a twist, I would say about 10 centimeters, just so I've got enough for a loop. And I'm just going to very gently holding these two ends together, start rotating in my hand my Christmas tree to create this little twist, which is going to run up the wire. So it doesn't have to be too twisted. If you want to make tighter twists, then you can hold it together. If you struggle with creating a twist in the wire, then you can open it out. Let me move these down a bit just to show you. So I've created quite a loose twist there. If I untwist, just to show you another technique. If you open up your wires, just twisting back in the other direction just to show you. If you open up your wires and create a bit of a T shape, and then pinch them as you twist, just move your fingers down. So I'm twisting the tree rather than the wire, and I'm just sliding my fingers down that opening that I've created just to twist those wires together. So as I say, I probably want about 10 centimeters of twist just to make sure I've got a nice long loop, but it really doesn't matter. It's up to you what you want to help. Sorry, I'm very distracted. Treen's just said, how old, Natalie? 24 years perhaps. I wish, I absolutely wish to tell you how old I am. I'm going to be 37. 37. I really should make the most of saying how old I am now, not how old I'm going to be. I'm 36. I think that's right. I'm at that age now where you forget how old you are. No, I'm going to be 37. Almost an old duck. Right. So I'm going to take my end of my wire and I'm going to create a little loop just by bringing that round together. I'm not using my round nose, I'm just using my fingers. I'm going to check I'm happy with the loop. If you want to make it bigger, then obviously just twist more. If you want to make it smaller, just bring that in together. So I'm going to gauge how wide I would like my loop on the top of my tree. That's going to fit nice, I think, over the branches. Elaine's giving me a shocked face. Lucy says, you're a spring chicken. What's a weird saying? An old duck? I don't know. I think that maybe it's a Liverpool thing. Maybe it's me mum. Right. I'm going to take my loop and I'm just going to bring those wires over. You can keep them twisted if you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to start bringing them round and I'm just going to wrap it. So I'm going to create a wrap loop. Doesn't have to be overly neat. I'm not too concerned. I'm just making sure I'm happy with the length that I've got. And then the wires, I'm just going to start to wrap between that loop and the top of the beads. So again, if you want to twist these together, you can do. And then you're just wrapping round as one wire. If you want to wrap them separate, you can do. Am I the only person then who uses the expression an old duck? I don't know. We're talking fish and ducks. We've got poultry on the go. We've got aquatic things. I don't know what's happened today. We were talking festive stuff. We're making Christmas trees. We're just chatting animals. Marie says, I wish I was 36 again, love. Yes, duck is a Liverpool saying. Okay, there you go. showing my age and showing my location there. So I'm just wrapping that little tail end loosely down. I'm not bothered whether it's too neat or not. You're not going to see it on the branches, but I'm just bringing it up so it's sitting just underneath the wrap that I've just done until I reach the top bead on my Christmas tree. Lucy's saying it sounds like a bead club Zoom right now. Gosh, God knows what we're going to have when we get to the festive bead club that we're doing. I think we're going to just let off a lot of steam and go a little bit crazy and a little bit fun. Okay, so I've got my two tail ends. You can see I've started off with quite a lot of length there. I wanted to start off with 40 inches, whatever that is in centimeters, just to make sure I've got plenty to work with, but you can do a little bit smaller. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have too little wire and not quite get to the top of your tree. So always have more than you need. You're going to have a whole reel of this 0.3 wire. So you're going to be able to make 3 Christmas trees and you will have wire left over because there's plenty. Oh, I'm loving today. Yogi Caspi says you definitely look 10 years younger, Natalie. Why, thank you very much. I think it's just because I act immature. I'm going to come in with my cutters and I'm going to give it a little trim just to get rid of those 2 little pieces. So I've got my loop at the top of the tree. And then with any pair of pliers, it really doesn't matter which, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to tuck those little ends down. And that is my Christmas tree. So I've created quite a bit of a space between these. It doesn't really matter. You can do them smaller and smaller loops if you want. But these are my beautiful, beautiful Christmas trees. I'm going to do them like that. You can still reshape them as well if you want to. So as I say, just kind of give them a little push together with your fingers. The wire is wonderful to work with. It creates a shape. It holds that shape, but it's still malleable enough to kind of move into position. Marie says you could take your M wires back through your beads. You probably could, yeah. Your 0.3 is thin enough to go back through the beads. So if you did want to make this as something else, you don't have to do it as a hanger, then you could do. You could bring that wire back through if you wanted to. I just think they're really sweet. I think obviously, you could hang them on your Christmas tree. You could hang them on your stocking. You could hang them on your fireplace. You could make them as like little gift tags, even little like place settings. So if you set in your Christmas dinner table, you could have them, I don't know, hanging over a little bottle of wine in the middle or whatever it is that you want to do with them. I do think they'd make lovely gift tags though, so you could get somebody's name and then just pretty up your presents a little bit more. But we've got an absolute amazing deal on for you today. Each kit, so each colorway, whether that be your green, your velvet, or your beautiful ruby, is going to make 3 Christmas trees, and they are the most amazing price of £6.99 per kit. If you want to get 3 colours, so you want to get 3 of your purple, 3 of your green, 3 of your ruby red, then they are £15. Don't forget, you don't have to mix and match. If you just want the green and the red, or the red and the green, or the red and the purple, then you can get 3 kits still for that amazing price. So I hope you enjoyed them today. It was something a little bit different. DIY Dream Wedding says they are so pretty. Marie says, love these. Maybe it will get me back into beading. Marie, it's something so straightforward and simple to do. You don't really need any tools, just your cutters for your wire and then something just to poke that end in. It's all done with your hands, just bringing that wire back through the beads. The beads do all the hard work. Joe says, sorry I missed this, I'll watch back later today. They look lovely. That is fine. If you want to find where you can catch us, we're on Facebook and we're on YouTube, and you can find all of our tutorials on our wonderful website. Lucy's dropped the link there for you, so we're totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials/hanging Christmas trees. And I don't know if I've missed anything. Oh, Lucy says, I'm thinking of walking the dog in my pink onesie. Do you think I'll get some funny looks? You might do. what, off the dog or off other people walking along with you. Do what makes you comfortable and makes you happy, but do stay warm. It is freezing outside. Marie, you are most welcome. She says, thank you, lovely, for showing us how to make them. Camille says, cute, thanks, Natalie. Have a good weekend, everybody. Joanne thinks they'll look perfect on a Christmas tree. It's Friday, so I'm going to be back with you on Monday. I'm going to be making some lovely bracelets with you. Straightforward to do. Well, we made earrings absolutely forever ago using the same technique. It was probably one of the first lives I did. So we're talking a year and a half ago. And I thought, I know, let's do a similar technique, but as a bracelet. So that's what I'm going to be doing with you on Monday. Katie will be back with you on Wednesday, and then I'll be with you again on Friday. So we've got lots of lovely things to do before we finish for Christmas. There is still a chance for you to get our amazing holiday festive bundles if you want to come and join us on Zoom. That starts on the 19th of December with this old duck. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Stay wrapped up warm, get your festive jumpers out, and take care of yourself.